Hello there, and welcome back to Ireland. Last time, well, we had some issues with the independence revolt that wasn't really that big. It was just annoying to deal with. But we did so down the line. It's also kind of interesting to see in the map here that the papacy has the Duchy of Susa here, and also this province up here. It's kind of interesting that it actually have come under their control. Also, it seems like the Muslims are actually being pushed back here by the Kingdom of Asturias. Also kind of interesting to note, and well, the Byzantines are being pushed back by the Muqtarids, who have actually taken over from for the Abbasids, I guess I should say. So what we'll be doing in this episode is probably more war, as you might imagine. We'll go straight out here, go for Raskia, and after that we'll probably go for Bosnia here, and then we'll well, continue up towards Poland. We'll basically declare war on anyone that we doesn't have a truce with, and we might actually consider sending the remains of the how should I put this? The remains of the or the retinue that's currently at home on the British Isles down here to supplement. So we might actually be able to fight the Byzantines as well. So that is the what I'm currently considering. We'll see if it's actually probable or not. We also apparently have some tech that we could use here, and I guess it's fair enough that we just do so. I can upgrade military organization, and that will definitely give me enough troops here, or a big enough retinue here to actually make it beneficial to send it down. So I guess we'll send 5,500 troops to join with the other one, and that should be more than enough actually to start making things work. I'll also start well, ransoming some of these guys to get some extra cash in, and I'll just do that off screen, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. There we go, we do have the 100% we needed to make sure that Bulgaria hands over the county. I've also got the 5,500 retinue troops that I wanted down here, and with that we'll just go straight ahead and declare war for Bosnia, or Rama, simple county here. And after that, I guess we'll march up on Poland and then down on the Byzantium. I'm a little bit unsure just what we will do with the Byzantines, if we will take a lot of land or where we'll actually start. But I'm pretty sure that we'll actually start by taking Hawkiee over here and just make it work from there. But once again, I'm a little bit unsure. But that seems to be the best well choice of action, scene that we want to get down to down in Great Israel more or less as soon as possible. I can't really see any other way of, or any better way of doing that, so that seems to be what I should do. As such, we might actually just go ahead straight now and march straight for Hawkiee, and then declare war for Armenia on the Muqtarids. So yeah, we might just do that and then take Poland afterwards, and apparently, almost likely we'll do that. So I'll just give it a little bit of time, or time to think about it, and then we'll see what we'll do. There we go, it's time to declare war on the Byzantines. It's kind of, as you know, a gamble here, but I think it will pay off in the long run. So we'll go ahead here and declare a holy war for Hawkiee, and I'm pretty sure we will win this, as you might imagine. And I guess we'll declare war on the Muslims to the south straight afterwards also. And by winning that battle, we might actually spark a revolt, because there's more. It's, at least as far as I know, or my experience with it, if you completely decimate the army of a Muslim ruler, it's far more likely that they'll have a revolt that will actually tear them apart. So hopefully we can pull that off. The current size of my retinue army is 14,000 men when it's fully. I was about to say fully charged, and that probably is what I was, or should say, when it actually is fully reinforced. That is what I was trying to say, but it came out wrong, so hopefully you'll forgive me for that. But as you can see, it seems like we might actually be able to take what we want here without actually ending up in a single battle, which of course would be fairly hilarious on its own right. So let's just get going here, and there we go. I do know what my 8th county will be though, and that will be the county of Jerusalem. That'll definitely be my 8th county, and I'll probably keep the Duchy of Jerusalem myself too. It's after all needed. So with that in mind, we at least know how some of the future will, well, to some extent pan out. And let's just go on here and enforce the deal with the Byzantines. So we won without actually fighting a single battle except for sieges. And that of course is great in its own right. I have no idea where the Byzantine army actually is, so I should probably check that out. Although I would presume that they're either fighting the Bohemians, Hungarians, or the Bulgarians. Which of course wouldn't be that surprising. I'm also going to go ahead here and take this guy so that I can actually declare war on the Seljuks if I so decide down the line. So, that's the plan. We'll see how it turns out. There we go, we have won the county of Albania, and with this I could potentially declare war on the Seljuks and take Azerbaijan. But it's kind of a little bit too far inland, as you know, kind of not what I am after here. I might actually wait for Trebizond and then, once again, not get too far inland, but Armenia kind of is also in the border region of what I'd, well, more or less accept here. I'll also figure out who these guys are actually at war with, and it seems like it's actually fairly easy to say that it's just these guys, and as such, declaring war on them is actually kind of helpful to the Byzantines as well. But I would actually prefer it if the Byzantines don't get utterly trashed here, because of the fact that if they do, the country here will be more powerful, and as such, it will be harder to get rid of them. It would mean that I'd have to sacrifice more time and more people, so I will be a little bit more careful and not be as aggressive as I probably should be. But I'll probably end up just siege winning this war, as I might call it, just kind of the same way as I've been winning my war against the Byzantines, and it seems like it might actually be what will happen here. Also, I might actually take this county here of Nishibin. It will allow me to get closer to Jerusalem a little bit faster, so all in all, it's probably a wise move. As you can see, it's actually part of Jazeera, so it wouldn't actually make too much of a difference when you think about it. So I might just skip that plan altogether. It's also worth noting that when I declared war on this guy, it was a male, or what the hell am I talking about? A male, what's it called? An old man, rather, a adult that was Caliph. But now, unfortunately, there's a little child who's 2 years old. It looked like, yeah, 2-year-old child in charge here. So potentially here we could get the revolts that I've been thinking about and wanting for some time now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get them. So, what will I do? Simply continue the sieges, and once we have won the war, I'll, get back here, as usual. There we go, the war is won. We have taken Armenia. And I guess my next target now is probably Poland. As it is standing, we cannot declare war on Hungary, we cannot declare war on Bulgaria, we cannot declare war on the Byzantines or the Mukhtarids. So for now, we'll just go ahead and march to Poland and declare war there. And while I wait for my army to get their asses up there more or less, I'll hand out the counties. I'll, see you in Poland, I guess. After 100 years in the Kingdom of Ireland, the Duchy of Gwynedd is now considered the German part of the Kingdom of Wales. So what is currently happening is that the places that I've conquered is slowly but surely turning into under Irish rule. The Duchy here is one of them. And in 30 and 50 years, most of this will actually be, Irish, more or less. And that is, of course, be a good thing. I'll probably keep the Irish crown for quite a while. And the reason why I will keep the Irish crown for quite a while, even though I said I wouldn't, is simply due to the fact that the independence revolt could potentially very easily cripple my country. And as such, I find it kind of more, to some extent, important to actually, rather than risking everything and crippling my country in the process, that I'd rather just go ahead and allow, the Irish crown to exist besides the Israeli one, and then slowly but surely make our way north, except for, so basically I won't be allowing everything to, I don't know what to call it, to drift at once. I'll slowly but surely make it a controlled process, so I can make sure that the independence revolts don't become as harsh and terrible as they have been so far. If you do remember the horrible independence revolts taking forever to deal with, yeah, hopefully I can try and bypass those in the future, although, once again, not really anything that I can promise. And apparently my guys are having some trouble with the Polish army here. Far more trouble than I would anticipate they had, considering that they slaughtered the Holy Armies pretty simply. But I think this has something to do with the fact that I don't actually have generals. That might be part of the problem, mind you. So yeah, we do have won the war here, as you can see. So we'll take Lesser Poland, and with that we are once again one step closer to getting ourselves back to the sea, which is in the end goal here. And hopefully we can keep on going. I'm simply wondering when the next Crusade will come, since it's 20 years since the last one. Or is it a 30-year gap? I can't remember. But even so, it's not the next one is probably not far away. What we have to do now, of course, is wait for truces to finish. 10:02, not really that long too. For the Bulgarians' sake, it's, I believe, a little while longer. 10:07, 10:09, and probably 10:10, 10:11. So we have plenty of time to wait here. But for now, we'll wait for the Hungarians, and we'll probably go for PEX, so we can actually start snaking our way through center of Europe as well. Basically, more targets means less truces, etc., and we'll use that to our advantage. But for now, we'll wait until the next war we can fight against Hungary. We'll see how it goes. So, there's apparently a Norse uprising, and that, of course, has to be up here. 4,000 Norsemen. And the funny thing about these uprisings is that it gives me an opportunity to raise far more, well, far more of these guys than I should be able to. And of course that I do like. If we do this and basically join up the southern troops here, I guess I should call them, and also the northern troops, it should be a fairly easy victory. And hopefully it shouldn't take too long either, seeing as we do have some targets that we can deal with down the line. It seems like I did lose some men there, but once again, not really anything to worry about. And since these guys were nice enough to just split up, should be possible to deal with them. Samaritan heretics, actually, that is an interesting thing. Samaritan uprising. Is there actually Samaritan in this province? Yeah, it's actually a Jewish heresy of all things too, just to make things even more interesting. But yeah, it seems like my guys down south here is doing kind of rough. They almost got their ass handed to them. But yeah, with these uprisings, I'm kind of glad that I basically rose up the entirety of the armies here. Once again, it shouldn't actually be too much of a trouble. We'll just go ahead here, try and destroy them once and for all, and that should solve, well, most of my problems, hopefully. So I'll just deal with these guys, and then we'll get back to, well, crushing Hungary, I guess. We'll see how it winds up. There we go, the wars are over, and with that we are, I think, ready to go for a secondary war here against the Hungarians. Now, we have to wait a little while longer, so I'll get back to you once the date is met, more or less. There we go, we can declare war again, and as we decided, we'll go for PEX. It's a big duchy, but also it'll allow me to fight Bavaria, fully war them as well. So all in all, it's probably the best choice right now, and as such, we'll go straight for them. I do have a 2,500 men retinue unit now standing in Great Britain, and as such, it's really tempting to actually fetch that one and just send it down here for, well, more or less the sole purpose of well, being able to have a bigger retinue army down here. Nothing more than that. And I kind of like the fact there's another Tengri uprising. And hopefully I can use that to my advantage if I am capable of hunting down this Hungarian army, and I actually am. Should probably aim at crushing that army as well if I actually want those guys to make it. So I'll just do that. That one is actually coming towards me, so that is good. There's another Hungarian army over here, so once again I'm kind of thinking that those guys might not be possible to save them. So I guess we'll just save. I guess we'll just siege the provinces that we can here, and thus get the pieces that we want. I'll just get it through it, and then we'll see what happens after that. So there we go, war is over, and everyone is happy. Hungary is more or less mine, or we can now fight Bavaria, and we now actually have what I would like to call the window to Western Europe, where we'll kind of can start to cause a serious amount of trouble, and that should very well be reflected, I guess I could say, in the fact that we'll be attacking well, snaking, I guess is the right word, through the center and also through the north, simply due to the fact that different realms have, well, different amounts of timing on their truce. So, too bad that I can't actually break them, due to the fact that it actually now scales with prestige. I've been doing so for a while. But even so, I did like the former system where you pay 200 prestige to buy a policy truce. Now it's a little bit too expensive if you ask me. But we do now have a fairly strong position in the Balkans and of course around the Mediterranean. I have no idea what this sea is called, but the Black Sea. Sorry, we have a pretty good position around the Black Sea as well, so things will work out pretty well. We'll end this here, but next time we'll probably go after Bavaria, Poland, Hungary, Byzantine. We'll go after everyone again, try and get ourselves down to Israel for, well, kind of focus more on that. And on that note, I probably should have set the Caliph here as his character of special interest, just in case he dies. The same with the this guy here. I can attack the Byzantines. So that is what we'll be doing next time. Well then, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye!